So she's that kind of a speaker and that kind of a leader. She's going to make you a little uncomfortable, and there's nothing wrong with that. Because staying in a space or a state of comfort will lead to nowhere fast. So it's good that she can provoke thought in us, shake us up a little bit, right? I believe, Hart, you have one of the best leaders in this country. Give her another round of applause, please. All right, so we're supposed to have an overview and remarks from Ms. Ronique Roden, director, but of course, campaign manager is busy. So what we will do is at the end of the proceedings, I'm going to put you down there, right? So you're going to be the person to kind of bring us on to the big conclusion. That's all right? That's all right. So let's get into the conversation. Panelists, lots to look forward to. The Heart NSTA has been very busy. The doors have been flung open. No, really and truly, the only thing blocking and stopping somebody from entering Heart is really themselves now. Them can't say them not have money to enter Heart. Them can't say they don't have the time. They can't say them don't have no access or them too old. They can't get no transportation. So JUTC reduce the cost of bus fare. You can't reach. You can't get there. So let's talk about the relevance of TVET to young people. And for those who don't know, TVET, the definition stands for Technical and Vocational Education and Training, right? The technical part refers to subject matters that are technical in nature, relating to hardware and software, including troubleshooting practices and engineering processes. Vocational relates to an occupation or an employment, often referring to hands-on skills within professional trades. Education, as you know, refers to formal education, starting in high school or also including post-secondary education, such as colleges, polytechnics, and also universities. And then you have the training part that refers, of course, to the informal training, also called lifelong learning or continuing education. And I want to turn my question and give it to our panelists, who is the class representative for cyber security. Jovian, I want you to start for me. Having understood, you get the definition now of TVET, right? Its relevance to young people. Do you think it's relevant to us? Turn on your microphone.
Yeah, normally, you know, I'm in the audience, so it's the first time on this stage now. So first of all, thank you for having me here.
Of course.
How relevant is it? Well, as I see, I'm studying cybersecurity. I don't think we need to know how relevant that is. I mean, we hear the news of certain financial institutions, organizations. Every day is a new hacker breach. Every day I get a friend calling me, you know, my account, this problem, that problem. So I think it's very relevant, and I think a lot of people, especially my fellow young people, when we hear skill, we think of the traditional old-time person in them dirty overalls, in the woodwork, the labs. But now, a skill can be, as my colleague here is doing, mobile development. That's a skill. Plumbing, not just traditional stuff. I think there's even digital welding now, all kind of stuff. So skill, we can just think of the old-time way. And nothing is wrong with the traditional skills, but there can be still some modernization. So skills is always relevant to me.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. I see Ronaldo nodding along. Ronaldo, you want to chime in here as well for that question?
Sure, not a problem. Thank you, moderator Debbie Bissoon. Guys, it's my first time here, so if you see me shaking, it's just the nerve.
I'll hold you. I'll hold you. If you're shaking, I'll give you a hug.
Yes. Trainees, I just want you to, you know, touch yourself, and I want you to say, I am a big deal. Because when we think about the Art and NSTA Trust, listen, there's a stigma. If 2 years ago anybody told me that, look, you'll be at art, probably would have cut them off. But let me tell you something. Art is a big deal, and I want you see, when you're walking, you walk with your heads up, right? Now, just to join with my colleague here, skills training, the future of Jamaican youth. Listen, 11,753. I think we're already living in the future. These are the number of persons who are slated to graduate between. It's already started. So from this month, November, going into December. Listen, when we think about, as he said, when we think about skills training, we think about persons in overall. Listen, things are so modernized, and I love the Art and NSTA Trust, you know, for going above and beyond when it comes on to new and emerging skills path, you know, training. Let me talk about soft skills. You know, the other day we were at the the BITU trade union, and Dr. Ingleton, she was speaking about the fact that persons within the industry, they are saying that, look, we are getting the skills, but we are not getting persons with the attitude, with the soft skills. And as such, you know, with the prompt response, you know, I've passed through the enhanced job readiness aspect of training. You know, it focuses on soft skills. So, you know, you have the art skills, but when it comes down to punctuality, mannerism, you know, we find that it is quite lacking, right? And one of the most exciting part, you know, we have courses that are not tech-based, but I've experienced the enhanced job readiness and said that it also focuses on digital skills. And listen, even if you're doing a skill that has nothing to do with technology, you'll get that knowledge. Right? And, you know, when it comes down to TVET, you know, we've been celebrating TVET. Listen, it's an awesome thing. And I am so glad. It's like I'm at the Jamaican Harvard at this point. Listen, it's a big thing. It's a big thing going on, you know? Yeah, that's
no, I love that. Ronaldo, no man, give Ronaldo a big round of applause, please. The next ad that Heart does, Ronaldo will be there with the spokesperson on behalf of our... Listen to me. You're the spokesman on behalf of Heart NSTA. I don't, listen, I am convinced I want to join again. And the reason why I said join again is because I actually did a nails course at Heart. I did. So I do my own nails. You know, like a side talent that you have, right? And I actually went down to Salon 100 and I did some courses there. So I went through Heart as well because Heart has something there for everybody. For everybody. I'm going to bring Mr. O'Connor on this conversation on this particular subject because USAID is always behind great institutions, great programs to help our young people.
All right, so good evening or good afternoon, everyone. Okay, so why is TVET important? Is that because they're TVET industries, right? The industries, technical and vocational industries that are booming in our country. And what I know about High Trust NTA, NSTA, they ensure that the programs that they are offering are aligned to where the country is going, right? Which means that you're already aligned to where the economy of the country is going. We're moving away from a lot of these traditional careers, a lot of these traditional industries, and TVET is what is pushing these industries along. As tourism continues to change, TVET is going to push it along. As agriculture continues to change, TVET is going to push it along. As the creative industry continues to change, TVET is going to push it along. I'm going to use one of the examples of the creative industry just to explain how important TVET is. Now, you've started to realize that there are a lot of festivals. There's Rum Festival, there's Coffee Festival. We are starting to do a lot more big shows, and there's so many festivals. Now, think about it. Who you think is setting up? Make sure so the festival look good. Make sure say TV presentable. Make sure the sound ready. Make sure the video ready. It's TVET careers pushing that along. And tourism is changing. A lot of our industries are changing, and you are on the cutting edge of those industries. The government also is focusing a lot more on TVET careers. If you think about it hard, NSTA is now under the office of the Prime Minister, which shows how important TVET careers are to the economic development of our country. And so you're not just here learning and training, you're learning and training to revolutionize, to lead the sustainable development of our country in a very important way. So this is important to you because it's important to the future of our economy. The way you're going to grow your children, the world that you're going to grow your children in is going to be an economy that is pumped and driven by TVET, and you have to be on the lead of that, and you're going to be in those careers as well. So that is why it's important to you.
Thank you so much, sir, for that. I know I don't have to ask Doc that question. I'm going to ask her a different question. I mean, and I love the point that you made, Mr. O'Connor, about, the Prime Minister prioritizing Heart NSTA, understanding what Jamaica has to do to keep up with the revolution that's happening worldwide. And for anybody at all, when you travel outside of Jamaica, outside of Big Foreign, we call USA, when you go to the eastern parts of the world, this is what they're prioritizing. When you go to all the Asian countries, this is what they have been prioritizing. That's the reason why they're so far ahead. If you can recall that Dubai was just a piece of desert a couple of years ago, maybe 50 plus years ago, right? And now they have the tallest building in the world, the Burj Khalifa, right? Who you think build it? Who you think get it up there? You know that they don't have any real water supply. You're using the moisture from the air for their water supply, right? That's what we're talking about. And when sometimes I look at it and I say, how is it that we're surrounded by water and we're not in water sometime? And we have to do all kind of rain dance for the rain come down, we full up Mona Dam, right? And we cannot prioritize things like what's it called again? Desalinization, thank you very much, plant what we need, right? But I think it's possible. It is absolutely possible. And it becomes now a priority that we introduce TVET at an early age. So the question I have for you, Doc, is why is it that we're not introducing TVET at an early age? Is it that the perception around TVET training is still that it's a low-paying path to go in?
Thank you so much for that. But before I answer, I really have to commend all three males. I am the rose here for those brilliant responses, and especially what you said. That is what we need to really look at in terms of the base. Everything that we do, TVET has been the base. And we have been misunderstanding that, and hence we create a false dichotomy between TVET and traditional academics. We are thinking that it's two separate interventions that do not overlap. That is how it has been sold. That is what has been perpetuated. And that is why it has not been infused at the primary level, explicit at the secondary level, and specialized at the tertiary level. So when he said that a couple of years ago, if somebody had said heart, him and them would go separate ways, I totally understand, because over the years we have separated the two, not understanding that it is the base. This chair, you would come in here and see it is a sophisticated white chair, and you align it with a level of sophistication. This is TVET, a carpenter, an individual who does upholstery, and all of those pieces created this beauty, right? But we make it seem as if the carpenter is too low level, and therefore as parents, we do not encourage our children. If we see them veering anywhere over there, so we say, no, Dr. Lawyer, economist, you know, and we push them, and then we have the high schools that do not offer certain subjects such as home economics, such as welding, what we used to call them in work, right? You did metal work. And social biology, they say low level, you have to do, you know, the more academic ones, biology, physics. And as parents now, we want our children, we want to be part of that, you know, prestige. And so we push the children in that direction. Do we recognize how many opportunities we have robbed our own children by not allowing them to just explore? So what we need to understand is not two separate routes. They both are critical for human development. They're intertwined. You can be doing so many things. Look at Debbie. She is an awesome media personality, yet still she's doing nails, right? Doing her own makeup. And if you send her go to law, she do it too. So what I'm saying is, we are individuals with potential, so much power. As parents, we have to stop that. The curriculum now must explicitly reflect. It cannot be anything that is hidden, like, oh, we don't want them to know that we're putting it there, so we'll kind of hide it. It needs to be explicit, because that is how it's going to get the respect. In Germany, as Mr. Marlon would know, that's highly respected. In Singapore, highly respected, because they make it very clear at the beginning that, listen, if we do not have skills, the country cannot advance. So those are some of the reasons. We as parents, we have to ensure that we're not perpetuating it with the lawyer, doctor, Indian chief. And we have to ensure that as an education system, it is not implicit. It is explicit. So we break it down right there. That's
wow.
It.
Wow. No, it's true. And Doc, I have to correct you. It's the hair, the makeup, and the nails that I do. And I taught myself because I had a mother who went through the kind of trainings necessary, and I see it and I said, boy, I'm going to do all of that as well. But as you speak about the coach, anybody know how much it is for a settee? When you call a carpenter and say, Mr. John, they can make a settee for me there, please. You know how much Mr. John a charge for one settee? Okay, enough people degree, they ever give them that the money then. True. I remember when I used to go to my nail taking halfway through and say I drive up in a beam and me I come out of school after university with my degree and me see my nail tech in our beam in a fear salon. No, and she employing other people. What you mean entrepreneurship spirit? And that's what we're talking about. And gentlemen, I want to bring you both in here because in the conversation, because in terms of the response that you got from your parents when you decided, if you did decide, tell us how the story went. If you decided and you said to them, you know, I want to go to Hard NSTA Trust, what was that reception like from the parents, from the family members, from those most intimate around you? Yeah, man, go ahead, Ronaldo.
All right, so it's a bit of a funny story. So I wanted to do teaching, right? So I got through at the Catholic Church Teachers College, right? And I got full scholarship, by the way. Now, there were some other opportunities in the pipeline. Then my friend, Georgie, called me and he said, I am going to Stony Hill. I am going to do network support. And I said, no, I'm not going. So we were there. I called my mother, and she said, no, because, you know, there are some other opportunities in the land. We haven't heard about this. So what's it? And when I told her, she said, so you going to reach there daytime? I said, they offer boarding, you know, and she said, what's the cost, Aline? I said, it's free. She said, listen, that's too good to be through, and just stick to it. And then when it went on, no fee. I paid $3,500 and then it was refunded to me, right? So I'm saying, look, you know, it's a really funny story, but as I said before, I started it, no regrets. Yes. You know, and I am thankful for that inner fight that I had, right? To say, all right, I am going to give this a chance. Look, Thursday coming, I will be graduating from network support. I collected my level 2 certificate, and let me just delve a little into that. Listen, when I went there, network support, I did craft entrepreneurial strategies. I did a little accounting there. I did communication skills. Listen, art caters to the whole person, right? And I started no regrets.
Thank you so much, Ronaldo, for sharing that and being so open with us and honest with us about your journey. Jovian, quickly tell us about yours.
So a kind of similar situation to Mr. Hitchman. Wanted to start UTech, but guess what? The money. Yeah. So, you know, I decided, you know, let me just go and work part-time when I was at the call center. But after a while, I felt stagnant. And I said, I need some more money, honestly. I need to get a skill. And my parents are very supportive. They're like, sure. They're kind of old-fashioned. I said, yes, son, go, get a skill, man. Get a skill. So I went and I signed up, and similar to Hitchman, I'm surprised. I'm like, this is all free? I even get lunch. So yes, and I started the program and I learned so much. And even though I'm not graduated yet, and I already have a job offer.
What? That's what I'm talking about right there. And you say you have a job offer already and you haven't left school yet. We're losing so many, though, of our Jamaican people who are skilled. Mr. O'Connor, we have to talk about this part as well. Our people are leaving. Give us the reality, because you should know, from a world perspective, of what's happening, you know, in the world. And why are people choosing to leave Jamaica when they go through a program through heart and get the skills that it's not close our eye and shake our foot? You must know it rub her the wrong way all the time. So let's talk about it.
There's several reasons. I think one, there's a difficulty to find a job in this economy, and people feel that they need to leave. Two, the unfortunate thing is that not all of our businesses have caught up with the fact that these industries are booming and the fact that these positions are needed. A lot of our business leaders are still traditional in how way they're thinking. Also, there might also be a lot of traditional ways about what business should look like. So I'm shocked to hear that there's cybersecurity and network support. I never knew that Hart was doing this. And the thing is, not a lot of people recognize the value of it, the importance of it, and why it's needed in their businesses. And so that is one of the main reasons why there's not a lot of job opportunities, because not a lot of business owners already recognize the need for the talent that you have. And that is partly, I think, where a lot of the government work needs to come in terms of changing that perception, creating more opportunities, because the truth is, you finish school and you're seeing the things that you are trained to do, the skills that persons want, they're not wanted here, they're wanted across the seas. All right? And I think that's where the issue is. The demand for the skill, the supply is ready, but the demand is not there. That's not needed. It's just that no one is demanding it.
Doc, I want you to chime in on this one, I know I could not ask this question and have her chime in on this one.
I honestly never heard it better said. Yeah. It was brilliantly articulated, and I can tell you right now that I'm going to be stealing the way that you have said it to sell it to the public, because we have been saying to them, we have these people, but you are right. The way businesses think, they're not in that revolutionary model. So it's the same 20 years ago way of operating. So they would not be able to look at Mr. Hitchman, because I hear the big man, Mr. Hitchman, being represented here, and say, but hold on, I could infuse this in my business. I could infuse his talent in my business. I could have him develop some codes that could, or some applications that could enhance the way I do business. They're not seeing that. And there needs to be a kind of a re-educating tool of our businesses. The last session I went to, I indicated that organizations still see ICT leads as the ICT guy or the IT guy. So they don't pull them onto that conceptualization process when they're making decisions. They just pull them when they can't go on to a particular app, they don't know what to press, the screen gone blank, and everybody call it, oh, the IT guy. We can't see them as the IT guy anymore. We have to recognize that they are strategic business partners in our organization. So they need to be around that table, helping to make decisions, helping to recraft the organization for the better success. So you're right, and I've never been able to put it like that. And so this has really helped me now in my further communications, that businesses, they're complaining, but they need to step up in terms of how they operate and really how they see business, because the USA, England, Canada, the same Dubai, UAE, Emirates, they are taking on a lot of our brilliant minds because they see businesses differently. They do. You go into a restaurant these days, you still have the paper menu. No, seriously now. Come on. You still have the paper menu with this something them type up, laminated. Right? I mean, when we go to places like Singapore, there's a QR code, and you take your phone, and you go like this, and the menu comes up, and you order. The waiter gets it directly in the kitchen. There is no communication in that regard. The chef gets it directly in the kitchen on a big monitor whilst they're cooking. The waitress gets a ping on his or her phone to say when the meal is ready. That is what is happening. That's what we need these people for in our businesses, to be creating applications to make life easier. And we're not there. We still pay fare upon taxi and bus. I mean, the taxi man, them not even getting the bank card machine. Come on, how many times you go upon bus and you realize, oh, geez, I don't have enough cash. And we're still struggling, having to stand in long lines, drawing cash. And we want to cut down crime. That is another way. Why isn't it that the taxi man don't have him ATM thing and just swipe right there and drive and gone? So these are some of the things that we need to be focusing on in terms of our business world, changing the way we do business so that he can stay here, so that he can stay here, and all of us, because there is enough in Jamaica for everybody. It is just that we have not found the way to properly do business to get the talents that we need.
That's
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you so much, Doc. Thank you so much for that. And you're so right. You're so right. When you see the advancement of the rest of the world, and we sometimes we have a lot sitting down pan here in Jamaica, you know. It's not like a proposal reach some desk and because the person who's supposed to carry it from point A to point B decides say them no want to move it. Get stuck on a particular desk for years. For years, we need forward thinkers, and that's the reason why this straight talk is important. That's the reason why you all being in this space is important, not just to just be here and, you know, say, boy, I miss out on a few class today, yeah, me. It is because we want you all to feel inspired and feel motivated to take a chance, take a risk into the unknown, get uncomfortable, come together, you know, as members in your class in the same feeling with the same interest. Some of you all can start companies. Some of you all can find the solutions right now. Start a company right where you are. And Heart has a lot of entrepreneurship. Heart gives funding to start companies. So if a couple of you all can come together, you can start right now where you are, even before you leave school, to be a solution to yourselves, to your family, and to Jamaica at large. There's so much that we can do. And we're also streaming on YouTube. So for the persons who are streaming online as well and getting this information, the challenge also goes out to each and every one of you who's watching and logging on. So while we are concerned about the persons who are leaving Jamaica, Doc, let's talk about the importation of skills into the country, because that's also a big conversation right now, lad. Then look what people there in Jamaica look at work, and we're gonna carrying people if we can come take with the people and work. It's a concern for a lot of people, but really, I mean, from the conversations that have been happening at a parliamentary level and otherwise, let's talk about why it is that we are looking to import people.
All right. So there may be skills, and there will always be skills that may not be resident in the island. We are 2.5 million people. We have a wide array of skills. And so the skill may be here, but not on the scale that it is needed to advance a revolutionary business. So in that regard, I see importation as a step that a company may need to take, because the skill set in terms of the numbers may not be resident. However, when and if we do import, it cannot be something that we keep on doing. So let's take the skill of cybersecurity. I'll just take that one as an example. If we're going to be importing that skill in 2023, we should not be importing that skill in 2025. Because when those people come in, we should be able to attach to every individual that comes into the island from another country. We should be able to attach 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 art trainees to that individual, so those 10 people learn that skill whilst that person is on the job. So when that person leaves, the skill becomes resident in 10, and we maximize it like that, right? And so there are benefits in terms of importation. Once we have it planned where for every skilled laborer imported, we attach 10, 15, 20 hard trainees to that skill labor, where the knowledge is transferred and the skill now becomes resident in the island. So that is how I see it. That has to be planned, right? So the benefits can be accrued. A proper knowledge, not knowledge, yes, knowledge, right, right. Transfer plan, yeah, where we do not have to be doing this over and over again. And that is also a cheaper way for us to learn a new skill, Mr. Marlon, than having to develop a curriculum, Mrs. Christine Edwards, and advancing funds so to do. That is a cheaper way to learn a new and emerging skill. So in that regard, also, when individuals leave, there are benefits, you know. So we have to look at planned migration. How can we plan migration so Jamaica benefits? We get the remittances. We know that, right? We get the barrel.
That's right.
Right? And the barrels are necessary, right? But there are other benefits. And so we need to sit down as policymakers and plan migration. Say, okay, you want to leave, fine. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are the different things. These are different ways that Jamaica will benefit. We get the branding and the imaging. Debbie leaves and goes abroad. Oh, Jamaica is so beautiful. We've met Debbie. And, you know, we get a lot of props for that. But there are other ways to get benefits from migration, because people will always leave for one reason or the other. So we have to be strategic in terms of planning migration and ensuring that every imported laborer that comes in, we attach 15, 20 people to them. The knowledge is transferred. We don't have to keep doing it.
Yeah.
So these are some of the solutions that I would put forward for
imported
That's
labor
right. And individuals who are leaving the island.
Very, very good points there. Mr. O'Connor, I want you to chime in here as well, because I know from your seat you've seen a lot.
So when I first heard about this imported labor thing, I was like, what do I mean? Why we need new labor? Because from last time, me see the unemployment rate, people still unemployed. So why do we need imported labor? But I appreciate the perspective you gave. If the skill is not there, then we have to import it on a larger scale. And I appreciate your saying, it's important that then we attach persons to learn. What I expect is that hard NSTA trust is going to be on the forefront of that. Because if we have to import skills in, and we need these skills areas, as she said in 2025, we should not need the importation. That means that there should be training ready for the next generation to have those skills so that we no longer need to import. So I think that is an important thing. I think we should be open to it as much as we can be. I know it's weird to think that a small country like ours would need to import labor to keep the economy going. We should be open to it as possible, but we should also be planful about it, right? Because it cannot be something that we continue doing.
And that's exactly what Doc was saying. It can't be something that we're looking to be a sustainable solution for the country. If it's even that, because again, Jamaicans, we leave Jamaica all the time and we rub shoulders with people in different spaces, different countries. I have a friend of mine who's from Clarendon. He used to work at Jamalco and he's overseas in Dubai working on a plant that provides the metal for NASA, right? And they literally called for him because of his skill. Right? They sent for him because of his skill, his level of expertise. And he said, boy, the plan is that we're going to be here for a little bit, but we're going to come back to Jamaica because I want to teach. I want to teach some young people how to do their thing. So the plan is not to just go away with the skill and then you lock it away forever and ever and don't look back on Jamaica. But at least, we can find some way that we can learn what we can if we have to leave the country, or if somebody comes to Jamaica with a particular type of skill, that we can learn from them, assimilate certain knowledge, and then, of course, utilize it to help Jamaica and really build Jamaica and help other people so we can educate our own people to take up those positions going forward. And that's what I think Doc was saying as well. Gentlemen, I want to bring you all here because what is the intention? What is a big goal that you have planned with your training for the next couple of years? Like, where do you see yourself? Let's say 5 years from now. What is the intention for you both?
All right. So, as it regards to entrepreneurship, I am big on that. I see myself. Well, I started to draft my business plan.
That's right.
I want to operate a IT solution company. So I would have accumulated certifications in cybersecurity as well, network support, all those little things, to just start something that can not only contribute to myself, but also contribute to the society at large. One thing I really do look at, right, is that I love teaching as well, right? So starting a business, right, and to get other persons on board, right? So if it's even to merge with, let's say, the art institutions to say, all right, I have persons here working, they are adapting, to trends in whatever skill that it is, can you facilitate them, right? And I must say I am really grateful for the stakeholders when it comes on to job experience as well, because that's one of the things I really love. So if I want to start a business that focuses, as I said, on IT solutions and to also get persons on board as well.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing that, Ricardo. Please, Jovian, go ahead. Tell us your big plans.
Well, I love cybersecurity. I love the whole process of, especially, there's a lot of stereotypes and a lot of misinformation. Everybody, once they hear cyber, oh, you're a hacker, I'm like, that's just something simple as just making sure it's a unique password. That's a lot of people don't even do that, or two-factor authentication. And public education and awareness. I think that's a big problem we have in our country. A lot of persons, they get these strange links. I mean, a lot of WhatsApp groups. Click this, you're getting free laptops, and everybody's gone, oh my God, I got hacked. And I think and I can't blame them. If you don't know better, what will you do? So I see myself in I want to be an expert. I want to be, when they're keeping conference, you see me.
You mean like today, right?
Yes.
Like, okay, all right, good. It's a start, all right?
Yes. I also have a bit of an entrepreneurial spirit, but not as much. I want to be the guy in the background. Like, I want to be on the board, but not the chairman.
Okay. That's fine too.
Yes,
Yeah,
so
that's
I even have a
quite
few
fine.
colleagues at heart that are planning to make business, and I've already spoken and we're trying to push things. So there's a lot of that going forward. So, and the teaching, I like that too. Especially, I love cyber. I love to, anybody want to talk about cyber, I'm in there. And I love to share my knowledge. I love to maybe in the future come back, maybe even if you know more informal, say just to teach some people about that. So that's me.
I love that. Give them a round of applause, please. I tell us, so one day you're going to sit them and say, boy, you know, somebody didn't know that. And it's the same way in which they want to be able as well to say, you know, say with this the lady at the conference, she sit down at the back, she look quiet, but look at her now, she's a powerhouse. Look at him now, he's a powerhouse. That's what this is all about. I want to invite Dr. to chime in here on the vision for TVET in Jamaica. Because so far, the changes for Heart NSTA were huge. Yeah. Deciding not to put an academic fee there, deciding to give more, deciding to really open it up even more to people of all ages was a big move. What is the vision going forward for TVET in Jamaica?
All right, thank you so much for that. A large part of the vision is access. We wanted to break down that barrier because any fee, however small, is a barrier. Some people were complaining that, oh, it's not a lot of money. It is a barrier. He got back $3,500. That was a lot for him. That's something he celebrated. That's something he saw himself as, whoa, I didn't have to pay anything to get here. So the vision is really around access, ensuring that every single individual, from the underserved to the most privileged, access TVET. And once we break down those barriers, then the perception changes, because it does not become a pathway for the lesser. It becomes something for everyone. Yeah. And once we have all the voices chiming in of how important this is, then there is no more stigma.
That's right.
So that is really the secret to breaking down the stigma, opening up the access so that everybody can enter. Also, digitization, digital transformation, infusing technology in every single area of TVET. So we have spent millions of dollars, we have budgeted billions to upgrade the facilities, to put in more STEAM labs, to upgrade all the resources. We have been working with World Skills International to acquire new equipment so that when a trainee enters a lab, he sees or she sees world-class operations. So when they leave the Heart Trust and they go out into industry, they can be saying, what is this you have here as a plant? I mean, I'm not used to this. I'm used to a high-level operation. That is what we want our trainees to be able to say to industry, that this is outdated. You need, like, you know, these applications are not ready. We have been exposed to greater than this. And so we are investing in the technology, changing out all our labs, doing the upgrading the physical infrastructure to ensure that our trainees are globally ready, that they are Monday morning ready. Where the employability skills are concerned, we have removed those from just being an appendage to our curriculum, Miss Christine, by integrating the employability skills into the training. So it's not something you do at the end, like as an addition, but as you go along, so that you leave the trust as a refined individual, not just technically competent, but also those soft, key transversal skills are resident in you. So that is how we are changing Heart Trust, and we already have a global face. We already have a regional face. We are respected in the region. The last conference we had, the head of Cantor, who sits at CARICOM, indicated that no national training agency in the Caribbean, or rather every national training agency in the Caribbean, would have benefited from the expertise of Heart. That is huge. So they want the model that we have. And Debbie, this is a problem I have with Jamaica and Jamaicans. We have a good thing, and we beat down the thing, and we cuss the thing, and we take it, and we cut it up, and we tear it up, and we throw it all over the place. And other countries are looking to us for the very model that we are complaining about. We need to stop it. Even Mrs. Julia Smiley Green knows that because we travel together in many instances. Even the global organizations, when we step into places and we're talking about heart, they're like, wow, we don't have that. We went to Finland. I mean, Finland is like the model. And when we went to Finland, we were like, okay. As in, we're way, like, this is it? They have a plant. You see how we have 26 institutions? We have garments that make curtain and sheet. We have Salon 10 that does makeup. We have the Construction College. We have the National Tools and Engineering Institute. We have Ebony Park that does agriculture. They have one building with all of that in there. One building. So just a little tiny space there. So little we're saying we have an institution for each of this that you have. These are the numbers we're pushing out in this tiny island of 2.53 million people. And we're talking about countries with billions of people. We are so way ahead. But we do not give ourselves enough credit. We do not take on to the positivity of what the country is putting out. We are more interested in the negative pieces, and we forward many times the negative news. But the positive things, everybody skip over that. It doesn't make front page, which is another challenge. And we do not entertain ourselves on those things. We have to change that. The other countries, they put their crime on page 19 or 20. Ours is headline news. And these are some of the things that we have to change as a country. Let us maximize the good that we're doing whilst we're working on the negative. Let us push the good out in people's faces and change the perception of this little island and what we have to offer.
Woo! I'm so glad that we have all of that on record, you see, man. I'm so glad that we just captured all of that because it's so true. It's so true. We need to change the perception, the things that we are highlighting every single day. Some of the TikTok videos them need to be done in the classroom so we can make the things them better not doing looking cool. Because some of the people who do there are create all kind of character. They're not going to do anything like what they're doing. It's true. We have to make it look appealing and cool, and I love that. And Doc, when you have those, when you're getting ready to drop your ads for next year, see your spokespeople them here in the room. See your ambassadors them here in the room to talk about what it is that Heart NSTA offers and how, in fact, you are leading the charge, leading even some of the more revered parts of the world who think that they are ahead, but literally we have it here sitting down and looking at it sideways. It's the same way we used to look on Bob Marley as a dreadlocks man until the world started hailing him as a superstar. And then we said, yeah, man, a Baba for Jamaican, yes. We love him, Mr. Man. We love him all along. No, man, let us be the ones to celebrate the things that we have first because they are indeed valuable. And Mr. O'Connor, I want to bring you in here because it's soon time for us to turn over to the audience if they have any questions. The recommendations to Heart and GOJ read TVET in Jamaica from the USAID.
All right, so I want to also echo what she said. It's true. This is the only institution in the world that does this type of work in this type of way. It should be studied. It should be on front pages. People should be traveling from other countries to look at how Heart Trust has developed and has pushed this agenda. It should be when I used to work on a workforce development program, when we had consultants coming from America and we explained what Heart did, they were all awed because no one else in the world is doing this type of work in this type of way. So it's extremely important. I think when it comes to TVET, I think a lot of what needs to happen maybe needs to be in the high schools a little bit more, and the awareness. Ignorance is keeping us at bay. In the sense that the guidance counselors, the teachers, they don't even know about the technical and vocational industries. They don't know about the technical and vocational careers, so they aren't recommending them. When I sat once and explained to teachers what it takes to put on a stage show and all the technical and vocational people that are required for a stage show, they were awed. That, wait, I didn't know that all of this required technical and vocational people to come about. When we talk about sustainable tourism and what tourism is turning into, the ecotourism, do you know that there are field trips where a tourist will come in Jamaica and he wants to go down to Coronation Market to have a real Jamaican experience. Right. And all you need to do is walk them through downtown and they all pay you 50 US. A group of 10 and they all pay you 50 US just to be their tour guide. Okay. Right? The things are revolutionizing and they're changing. What is happening is that your teachers and guidance counselors are not aware, they're not educating the youth and they're not educating the parents. And I think that's where a lot more of the work needs to get done, because a lot of time Heart was, okay, you can't go UE, you can't go UTech, okay, go Heart. That needs to change. It needs to be a first option. We also need to be, as a country, need to revolutionize how we think about careers. Some of us really like vocational work. We like work with our hands.
Yes, right.
We like beauty. We like fashion. We like agriculture. We like cybersecurity. We like animation. And those are things we enjoy. And there's money in them. I can tell you, when we looked at the industries in Jamaica and the TVET industries in the world wide, billion-dollar industries. And they can million-dollar industries, billion-dollar industries in our own country. And so it is kind of that ignorance and lack of awareness that we need to change. Because if we know more, then we'll actually go ahead and invest in these careers. If you knew when you were 14 that you could do cybersecurity from your 14 in third form, then your trajectory of life would have been clearer, different. And that is what we need to change.
Absolutely. Please put your hands together, please, for our panelists. Absolutely amazing. Such good perspectives, good insight. Indeed, we have much more to do in terms of making popular the work of Heart NSTA in the same way in which we popularize some very low-value things. We're not carrying us nowhere at all. We spend so much time on some of the things that will not even help us to upgrade ourselves to be even more valuable in the world of work tomorrow. It's not going to help us to increase the amount of money that's going into our pockets. Yet, so we spend so much time marinating over it. When you look half a day gone and your thumb hurt you. Right? The truth is that we have to talk about and popularize. So your younger cousins, your sisters, your brothers, the young people in your community who sometimes are not sure about what they want to do. There's so many young people going through high school. If you ask them, what do you want to become? You know, say, I don't know. Because I'm not even sure, say, my mother and my father said, must try this. They themselves don't understand that sometimes all you need is just to start in something that you made us have an interest for. Chef Brian Lumley. Amazing chef, went through Heart. And Brian has toured the world over as a superstar chef. He works right now with the Nestle Group, right? So really and truly, the limit is none concerning a Heart NSTA graduate. I'm very excited about your future, and I hope you are too. We're going to be opening the floor at this time for any questions that you may have, and it doesn't matter, be it small, big, little. I want you all to feel brave. Don't worry, the cameras are up here. It won't be on you. Ask a question. We'll just hear your voices, right? So does anybody have any questions? Any questions? Everybody clear as day? No, man. Everybody don't clear. You can't speak on behalf of everybody. No, we have a question right here.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Karina. I am from the Garmex Academy, Heart, currently studying early childhood care and development. Now, I have a statement in regards to what you guys were talking about for like unemployment and stuff like that. My heart will be set to my chest.
That's okay, honey. We're here with you. You're doing great.
So this is my handout from school, so I didn't have my notepad today. So I want to talk about the unemployment. So it's not just that, I had to write this down because I don't think I would remember.
Me too.
So it's not just the lack of employability or funding for jobs, but I also want to say that it's the lack of job development opportunities. Like myself, I'm aspiring entrepreneur, and for me, I talk about this every day. Even my colleague here can tell. I talk about it every day to everybody around me. There are so many infrastructures in Jamaica that can be developed for an opportunity for young entrepreneurs for myself. However, I believe that it is very hard for us here in Jamaica to acquire those infrastructures, to develop and create additional opportunities for persons that we go through school with, go through life with. Because if that can happen, I can guarantee that the crime level that we're always talking about is drastically reduced, right? Also, job in terms of the brain drain, migration, everything, and importation, jobs do not want to hire more because they don't want to pay. You get what I'm saying? So they tend to keep one individual in cybersecurity or network mobility or stuff like that. They tend to keep them for 50 years, 25 years, even when they want to retire. They don't want to hire because, honestly, if I was in cybersecurity and somebody wants to take me on, I ain't taking $50,000 a month.
Yeah, that's right.
I ain't taking that. Because I know my career, what I have gone to school through. I can't imagine how cybersecurity hard. I'm doing early childhood. My handouts every week are this thick. This is 90 pages. And I cannot imagine how hard that is. So for me to leave this amazing institution to go out there to take $50,000 a month for cybersecurity, that's going to be ridiculous for me. So they tend to keep those persons who they're already paying a little bit more or that amount because they don't want to pay more. And that in result sends us outside to places that will give us what we want. And yes, we want to come back. We really do want to come back to Jamaica and enhance our country because we are beautiful. And we know we can reach further than even America. We can get there. And Heart, I really must commend Heart. When I was going through school, I never knew nothing about Heart. But I knew about Salon Ted. I knew about Hobra. I knew about, someone said it, Jagas, because my cousin went to Holy Trinity and she was going to Jagas after school and stuff like that. So I knew about those little parts, but I really did not know how far Heart extended, right? So I really must commend you guys. And if I had known what I know now 3-5 years ago,
That started earlier.
I would have started earlier.
Listen.
I would be in this evolving early childhood right now.
I think it's amazing that you even decided to stand and share. Can you give her a big round of applause, please? And I'm excited that you're doing early childhood care because as a mother, I never knew it's so difficult to find a good school to put your picking into.
And
Listen to me.
And to be seen, I'm so happy you touched on that because that was my next question too, for the panel, you know. So well, 2 questions, but let me start. I heard you mentioned that Heart does funding for
Entrepreneurs. Yes.
Right. Yes. My colleague and I today were talking about starting our own early childhood institutions, right? Because I tend to see why early childhood teachers fail in the institutions, and I'm not sure why. But starting this course, I've only gone 2.5 clusters so far. I just started, and I'm doing level 3, right? I've only gone 2.5 clusters, and what I have learned so far is something I've seen my parents done and other persons done, but it's not done right.
So you want to know about the entrepreneurship?
Right. How does USAID, because I know that USAID is a big part of early childhood development.
All right, so hold on. I'm going to pose it to both Dr. Eglinton and Mr. O'Connor as well. So that's question 1. And the next question?
The question is for Heart. Is the Heart NSTA Trust planning to incorporate itself within the high school institutions as well
Okay.
offers courses for advancement.
Ah, all right. So let's take
All
the
right.
first question. The
All right.
entrepreneurship support from Heart and also USAID.
All right, so I'm happy you asked that because in the audience today, and could you just stand up, Marlon? Marlon is the Senior Director for Entrepreneurship, Small Businesses, Micro Small Businesses. He's the one that takes all the submissions that we have to go through every month to provide this funding. And we happily say, yes, approved, approved, approved. And if we don't approve one, Marlon, one long epistle as to why we should approve it. And by the time we finish, we say, all right, Marlon, approved. Right? So that's a direct link. You can just have that conversation. So we do provide funding. We give $1 million in inputs, right? And so, yes, we do. So,
Hold
right
on.
there.
Doc, how much is you give again? No, hold on, Doc. Hold on, Doc. Talk to me again. Wait a second. Say it again, Doc. Say it so they say. You give how much seed money?
One whole $1 million.
I want them to know that there's some
we
financial
take you
institutions that don't even give so much.
We take you through business planning. We handhold you through business planning. We take you through your marketing, how you market your business and all of those stuff. All of that stuff. You get all of that.
So you know, say I'm a big friend, right?
We take you through registering your company and setting
Companies,
up.
office
and
business and TAJ
yes, man,
business and
everything. The whole works.
So what's your name, my darling? Karina. This is Mr. Marlon right here in the yellow
man,
tie.
he's there.
Don't miss him. Me here. Take a picture with him and stuff
He
later.
will fight for that business to get approved. He will fight. That's what he does.
And I hear the colleagues them
man,
say
he will
yes
fight.
in the back because it's true.
When him run ready to pretty up all of the things, them and tell us, Doc is going to be productive and sustainable and all of those things. He fights, and I really love that about him because he's representing you. Awesome. So I'm happy that she spoke about the trajectory and in terms of the compensation because it's a conversation the employers don't want to have. It's a conversation that everybody, once you start to talk about that, is problem. You all should talk about it more. You have to be the one to talk about it. Cybersecurity is something that you can slide on in your bed and do in your pajama. We need to recognize that these people can be doing 5-4 jobs, 5-4 different companies across the world in your pajama, in your bed with the computer, right? You don't have to get up. You can have on the night table food here, so over here, so water over here, so you're in a pajama. What lovely life that is. You don't have to waste gas, drive, go work, 9 to 5, sitting beside people you don't like and all kind of something. And so these are the different things that we are now encouraging individuals, encouraging industry. You have to look at how you pay the people. You have to look at the working conditions. And you have to look at, is there a clear trajectory for advancement from entry level all the way to CEO?
Thank you so much for that, Doc. Love that. Mr. O'Connor, talk to us. USAID.
Okay, so I can't speak directly about any funding program that exists right now. But what I do know, generally, if we have participants in a program, we provide business training, business development, and then we'll also fund those businesses. What I can promise to do, I'll leave my card with Kimberly, and if I do find any information about a program that exists now, I'll pass it on, and so you can get that information, all right?
Thank you so much. Thank you. And that was what? The first question. The second question, you got an answer for your second question?
It was about if we're going into the schools.
Oh, into the secondary schools, Doc, yes.
As it is now, we need to have a stronger relationship with the schools. But we do go in, especially for world skills competition, we go in to get the individuals to actually have world skills or skills clubs in the school. That's where we begin. We invite them, we test them, we take them through, for our career days. I must admit, though, that it is not as seamless as we would want it to be. It's not as strong as we would want it to be, because we have to infuse ourselves, Debbie, a little bit more there to kind of spread the word. And I liked what he said, because we can't depend on the guidance counselors and the career counselors in the schools, because they too need more knowledge in terms of the TVET industries.
Absolutely.
So there is scope for growth for that. That is an area, Miss Christine, that we have to take on aggressively in the new financial year in terms of placing ourselves in the high school system for the students to see us and see what we have. Because you see, when they tour the labs, Debbie, all of those labs I'm talking about with the optoelectronic equipment and the mechatronic and the robotics, they're like, what me I go to school for? Those are the things that they're saying. They're like, this is what I want to do. When they see the technology.
Thing that was missing, always aim to do that for somebody else. So it makes it much easier for us to do. And I'm happy for this of ambassadors, including Debbie, who did her nails, and she has the nail, and I love the nail that you've given to us to build. So young people, for being here, thank you one on the panel. You did a job. A few of us know about all day today. I thank you so very much. Everything worked out the way. Youth here is November, Jamaica's youth. One element that you're happening, but the Prime Minister will be in February. You'll be hearing about that. You on the lawns of looking. That's right. So that we have a few for the rest of the month. I know with part of December too. We have so much of Jamaica's youth. Sports Day coming up. Corner around the country. Some around the entrepreneurs, but even you don't those great businesses. Thank you so very much. Thank you. Thank you, team, for the all that you've done.
Ms. Roden, Director, Community and Campaign Manager, thank you so much for the hard work you did today. Thank you to the who are technical around the back. Thank you for operators. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to the turnover. Well, and we are going by the amazing music club, entertaining us, some refreshment at the joy. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope a little bit more than how we came in and feeling the path with heart and a wonderful rest of it. Congratulations you on this new wonderful rest of evening. It's away. The play. Work. Talk to conversations. Mr. Sir, sir, let him leave and you don't information, all right?